Hi, today I'll be coding a solution to this challenge, which is get this result using a single HTML element, no JS, no images, save for at most 4 CSS gradients, and under 15 CSS declarations. I'll try to keep it at 10. As you may have noticed, I've been looking at things like optical illusions lately, and from time to time something catches my attention and I'm thinking I could CSS this, and of course it would be really easy to just throw a ton of code at it and somehow get that result, but I think that if I'm doing something, it's worth doing right, so I try to be as efficient as possible, hence these challenges, but I should stop talking and start coding. So we're going to have the body as our element and the before and the after pseudo elements. Yeah, typing is not my strong point. So here we'll be having position absolute, and this creates a 0 by 0 rectangle, so we need to give it some dimensions, and we'll do that by the padding. So the padding, let's say something like this. So this is going to be half the edge length, and just to see stuff we need to set a background and of course set a content, because otherwise we won't be seeing anything on the screen. So yeah, we have a square right now, but what we really want is a different aspect ratio. So let me show you something right here. As you can see, that's a line in between the ceiling and that lateral wall, and here another line between the floor and that wall. And we'll be taking the angle between these two to be 60 degrees. And as I said, the horizontal padding is half the horizontal edge length, and the vertical padding is half the vertical edge length. And these two are right here. This is the horizontal padding, and this is the vertical padding, and the angle between them is going to be 90 degrees, and this angle right here is going to be half our angle that we've taken there. So if we want to get the horizontal padding out of the vertical one, we're going to have the vertical padding over tangent of that angle, which is half our angle that we've said we're going to take 60 degrees. So let's put that into code, and since we said we're going to be using trigonometric functions, we'll be importing compass. So I hope I spell everything right, because as I said, typing is not my strong point. So we're going to have the vertical padding along the y-axis, the value which we already have there, so set them both there like that, and we're going to have our angle, which is going to be 60 degrees. So now the horizontal padding is going to be the vertical one over tangent of half that angle. Okay, having done this, we'll have our aspect ratio, and of course we want a different background. So what we want is a linear gradient, 90 degrees. This is going to go up to 50%, and then we'll be having white. Okay, I'm actually wondering if it's not worth using a repeating linear gradient, and then it's going to go up to 2.5%. So it's going to be 0. This is going to go up to 5%. So well, let's say, I don't know, the gradient percentage is going to be 2.5%. So we're going to have it there and twice that value. Okay, so that should do it. Okay, now we're going to want to have a second gradient, and again a repeating one, but this is not going to be a linear one, this is going to be a conic one, except we just don't have autocomplete for conic. So we're going to have a ray angle, and this is going to be 180 degrees, which is half the circle, over, let's say, 30. We're going to have 30 rays. So again, we're going to have black, starting from 0% up to the ray angle, and then we're going to have white, again sharp transition, and up to twice the ray angle. Okay, but now we don't see the gradient beneath it, so we're going to set background blend mode difference. Okay, so this kind of gives us the lateral walls, but it's really ugly, so we need to cut out the ceiling and the floor, and we're going to do that with a mask. And this is going to take a repeating conic gradient again, but of course CSS masks are by default alpha masks, and so they're not luminance masks, so we use black and white. They're alpha masks, so we're going to use something that has an alpha of 1 versus something that has an alpha of 0, which is transparent, for example. And of course this is going to go up to 50% because, let me show you. So we're going to want to have something solid along this wall, then something transparent along the floor, and then again it's just going to repeat for the same angle along this wall, something solid, and then transparency there. So we're going to need to start from this angle, and the default is this. So we're going to need to start from this angle in between, and this angle in between is 90 degrees minus this angle right here, which is half that VA angle that we've already set. So we're going to start from 90 degrees minus half that VA angle, and this is going to be up to VA. Okay, so let's align stuff properly. Okay, what's the problem? Oh yeah, that. Okay, having done this, we have that result. But if we were to use here transparent and here something solid, I don't know, 10, it doesn't really matter. And if we had 0 degrees there, we basically get our ceiling and our floor. So we need to set one version for the before and the other version for the after. So to do that, we're going to have a custom property which will be switching on the after. So on the after, switch this to 1. Okay, so having switched this, we'll be using RGBA here, 0, 0, 0, and for the alpha we'll be using that I, and then we'll be having something similar here, except this is not going to be I, it's going to be calc 1 minus I, and here again we're going to have a calc, and this is going to be I, times 90 degrees. Okay, so this looks good except for that part right there. So what we'll be doing is have another linear gradient, and this is going to go to top right, top. As I said, I can't type. Typing is not my strong point. Black up to 50%, and then we'll be having white sharp transition. Okay, so this should do it. Okay, so this does it. What I don't like is those jagged edges we have right there. So we'll have an error angle, let's say 0.5 degrees. So yeah, something like this. So here we'll be having, this is going to start. Okay, so here we'll be having that error angle, and here we'll be having that ray angle plus the error angle. Okay, and to fix the offset we'll be having from minus half that error angle. Okay, so this should do it. Okay, this looks nice. Okay, now let's put it in the middle. Not really necessary, but just so that things look nicer. We'll be having 50 horizontally minus, vertically, sorry, minus the vertical padding. Okay, and we'll be doing the same thing horizontally, so half the viewport width minus the horizontal padding. Okay, and we can set a border here, so border solid 1m, something like that, black, but as you can see, this offsets it. So we're going to need to set this as a border width, right? So set it like that, okay, and also subtract it from there, so minus that border width. And now that we've done this, is the thing is in the middle and we have our nice effect. So yeah, this is it. This is what I wanted to show you for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you like the work that I've been putting out for more than 8 years now and you want me to be able to do more in the future, please consider supporting it. You can do so by being a cool cat and becoming a patron on Patreon. The link is going to be in the description, or you can get me something off my Amazon wishlist for Christmas, New Year, or whatever. The links are going to be in the description, or you can at least share this to show the role what can be done with CSS these days, because honestly I think it's pretty damn cool. In any event, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.